Yay, la 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 la. Yay, la 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 la. Yay, la 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 la. Yay, la 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 la. Yay, la la la. Yay, la 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 la. Yay, la la la. Yay, la 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 la. Yay, la 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 la. La 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 la. Yay, la 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 la. Yay, la 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 la. Yay, la 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 la. Yay, la 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 la. Shabbat Shalom. Now we are in this space, and the week behind us is outside. And because it's outside, we can take a deep breath and let it all go inside. So let's try that. Let's put everything outside. And now we're inside, in this beautiful sanctuary, ready to celebrate Shabbat together. I now invite past President Linda Barr to join us for announcements in her jovial way. I'm so excited because it's been a little bit.
All right, let's see if I remember how to do this.
Where do you put your feet? Where do you put your hands?
I have to keep straight. I cannot move my feet. Thank you for that reminder. Okay. Shabbat Shalom. We welcome our guests this evening, Mary Ann Friedman and Julie Katz from Adult Guardianship Services of Summit County. And also, Mickey, welcome. Thank you. Next week is Ruach Shabbat. If you plan to attend the dinner before services, please RSVP at the link in yesterday's temple email. Rabbi is also holding another Text on Trap, brought to you by the Adult Education Committee on Tuesday evening. See your weekly email for the time and location, as well as an RSVP link. The religious school is holding their 5th annual Omar Cereal Challenge until May 21st. All cereal boxes will be donated to the Family Services of Jewish Akron at the end of the counting of the Omar. Gift shop hours are increased for all your Passover items. However, you cannot get your brisket or matzah there. I just want to remind all of you of that. There are other things, though, for Passover that you could purchase and help sisterhood. Again, see the weekly email for gift shop hours, including this coming Sunday during religious school. Finally, there is the joint Cincinnati trip exploring the joint histories between the Black community and Jews. Details are in the weekly email, but the deadline to sign up is April 10th, and the deadline for the all-important discount for the hotel is March 31st. So any other details, look in our weekly email. And again, Shabbat Shalom, good to be here.
So if you'll turn to your neighbors, wish everybody a Shabbat Shalom. And we will invite Don Lushtag up to lead us in our candles and Kiddush blessings. Page 2.
We light these candles to rejoice in the freedom we share with each other. It is the light that beckons us, the light of peace, the light of hope, the light of mitzvot. As we light these candles, may we bring strength to one another as we are inspired by the light of our tradition. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu le'adlik ner shel Shabbat.
If you'll hold up the Kiddush cup. Page 5. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, borei pari hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, אשר קדשנו במצוותיו ורצבנו, ושבת קודשו באהבה וברצון הנחילנו, זיכרון למעשה בראשית, כי הוא יום תחילה למקראי קודש, זכר ליציאת מצרים, כי בנו בחרת ואותנו קידשת מכל העמים, ושבת קודשך באהבה וברצון הנחלתנו. ברוך אתה אדוני מקדש השבת. Amen. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Don. Happy birthday to you. In Hebrew, Yom Huledet Sameach. Yom Huledet Sameach. Yom Huledet Sameach. Yom Huledet Sameach.
Thank you.
So nice to have our simchas together for blessings like that. Thank you very much. So we turn to page 10. Hine Matov, how wonderful it is that we are all here together to celebrate Shabbat. Hine Matov u'manayim sheverachim gam yachad. 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 Sheverachim gam yachad. Sheverachim gam yachad. So we walk back through our week. We think about where we were, who we were with, and we remember that that was this past week, and now we're moving forward into a new week. Like I said, we're leaving that outside, and now we're inside and starting over. And we will open up our doors and allow Shabbat to enter like a bride when we get to verse 9 of Lecha Dodi on page 20 and 21. Please join me. Lecha Dodi likrat kala pnei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha Dodi likrat kala pnei Shabbat nekabela. Shamor v'zachor b'dibur echad hishmeyanu el hameyuchad Adonai echad u'shemo echad l'shem ultiferet v'litchila. Lecha Dodi likrat kala pnei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha Dodi likrat kala pnei Shabbat nekabela. Likrat Shabbat lechu מעשה במשכבת הילה לך דודי לקראת קהלה פני שבת נקבלה לך דודי לקראת קהלה פני שבת נקבל. Verse 5. התעוררי כי באורך קומי אורי שיר דברי כבוד אדוני עלייך נגלה לך דודי לקראת קהלה פני שבת נקבלה לך דודי לקראת קהלה פני שבת נקבלה. Please rise as you are able, in body or spirit. Face the entrance to your home or to our sanctuary. בואי ושלום, עטרת בעלה, גמה בשמחה, ובסוחלה, תוך אמוני, עם סגולה, בואי חלה, לך דודי לקראת קהלה, פני שבת נקבלה. לך דודי לקראת קהלה פני שבת נקבלה. We continue on page 26. Remain standing for Hatzi Kaddish. יקדש שמי רבה בעלמא דברך ירותי וימליך מלכותי בחייכון וביומכון ובחיי דכל בית ישראל בעגלה ובזמן קריב ויאמרו אמן. יהי שמי רבה מברך לעלם ועלמי עלמיה יתברך וישתבח ויתפאר ויתרומם ויתנשא ויתהדר ויתעלה ויתהלל שמי קדושה בריך הוא לעילה מן כל ברכתה ושירתה תשבחתה ונחמתה דאמירן בעלמא ויאמרו אמן. We begin the personal sets of prayers. Beginning before the Shema, we begin with the Baruch Hu, the call to worship, where we kneel down and we invite God into our prayers. Page 28. Page 31, together at the top. Praise to you, Adonai our God, from whom the evening flows. Your wisdom sets the way on which time and season glide. Your breath guides the sail of the stars. Creator of the tide of time and light, you guide the current of day into night. As heaven spans to infinity, You set its course for eternity. Praise to you, Adonai our God, from whom the evening flows. Baruch atah Adonai Hamari Varavi. Page 33. As you taught Torah to those whose name I bear, teach me Torah too. Its mystery beckons, yet I struggle with its truth. You meant Torah for me. Did you mean the struggle for me too? Don't let me struggle alone. Help me to understand, to be wise, to listen, to know. Lead me into the mystery. Baruch atah Adonai, Ohev Amo Yisrael. Pages 34 and 35. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad, Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto, Leolam Vayed. Please be seated. Kindly join me on page 36 for V'ahavta. V'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha b'chol levavcha u'v'chol nafshecha u'v'chol meodecha v'hayu ha'devarim ha'ele asher anochi metzavecha hayom alavavecha v'shinantam levanecha v'dibarta bam v'shivtecha b'veitecha uvlatecha v'derech uv'shokbecha uv'kumecha u'kshartam le'ot ayadecha v'hayu letotafot b'neinecha u'ktavtam al mezuzot beitecha u'visharecha למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותיי והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים להיות לכם לאלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיכם. Let us read together the top of page 39. Standing on the parted shores of history, we still believe what we were taught before ever we stood at Sinai's foot. That there is a better place, a promised land, that the winding way to that promise passes through the wilderness, that there is no way to get from here to there, except by joining hands, marching together. Our song for freedom, Mi Chamocha, page 40. Mi chamocha ba'elim Adonai, mi kamocha nehidar b'kodesh, nora tehilot, osef ele, nora tehilot, osef ele. Malechotecha ra'u vanecha, bokei hayam lifnei Moshe u'Miriam, ze Elianu v'yameru, ze Elianu v'yameru, Adonai yimloch le'olam ba'ed, Adonai yimloch le'olam ba'ed. Mi chamocha ba'elim Adonai, mi kamocha nehidar b'kodesh, nora tehilot osef ele, nora tehilot osef ele. sometimes, although it's getting lighter out later, which is good, because sometimes when it gets dark, that's when things seem scary. I don't know why that is, it just does, especially for kids. When it's dark, it's scary. And sometimes you need somebody to comfort you, even if you're not a child, when it's dark and scary, whatever that means. And so we have this prayer, Hashkivenu, which allows you to remember that somebody's watching over us and that we'll wake up the next day and it won't be scary anymore. Please join me, page 42, Hashkivenu. Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu l'shalom, l'shalom, v'hamidenu shomreinu l'chaim, ufros aleinu sukat shlomecha, ufros aleinu sukat shlomecha. Amen. Shelter us beneath thy wings, O Adonai. Guard us from all harmful things, O Adonai. Keep us safe throughout the night, till we wake with morning's light. Teach us, God, wrong from right, O Adonai. Amen. 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 O Adonai. On page 47, these two little sentences are bigger than, I believe, any page in this book. Pray as if everything depended on God, but act as if everything depends on us. Please rise. Adonai, sifatai tiftach, ufi agita hilatecha. Adonai, open up my lips, that my mouth may declare your praise. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu v'Elohei avotenu v'imotenu, Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzchak, v'Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, v'Elohei Leah, Ha'el Hagadol, Hagibor v'Hanara, El Elyon, Gomel Chasadim Tovim, V'Konei Hakol, V'Zocher Chasdei Avot v'Imahot, Umevi Geula Lifnei V'Neihem, L'ma'an Shemo B'Ahava, Melech Ozer Umoshia Umagen, Baruch atah Adonai, Magen Avraham V'Ezrat Sarah, Atah Gibor Le'olam Adonai, Mechaye HaKol Atah Rav Lehoshia, Mashiv HaRuach, Umorid HaGashem, Mechokel Chaim B'Chesed, Mechaye HaKol B'Rachamim Rabim, Somech Noflim V'Rofeh Cholim, Umatir Asurim, Umekayem emunato lishenei afar, michamocha ba'al gevurot, umido melech, melech memit umechayeh, umatzmiach Yeshua, v'ne'eman ata lehachayot hakol. Baruch atah Adonai, Mechayeh hakol. You may be seated. On page 55, let us read at the top. May these hours of rest and renewal open our hearts to joy and our minds to truth. May all who struggle find rest on this day. May all who suffer find solace. May all who hurt find healing on this day. May all who despair find purpose. May all who hunger find fulfillment on this day. And may this day fulfill its promise. Together, Baruch atah Adonai, Mekadesh HaShabbat. Grant abundant peace to Israel, your people forever, for you are the sovereign God of all peace. Shalom Rav, on page 60. Shalom Rav, Yisrael Amcha, Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rav, Yisrael Amcha, Tasim Leolam. Ki atahu Malach Adon, L'chol Hashalom. Ki atahu Malach Adon, L'chol Hashalom. Shalom Rav Yisrael Amcha, Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rav Yisrael Amcha, Tasim Leolam. V'tov b'yeinecha levarech et amcha Yisrael b'chol et ובכל שעה בשלומך. שלום רב ישראל עמך תשים לעולם. שלום רב ישראל עמך תשים לעולם. תשים לעולם. תשים לעולם. Let's all take a moment for silent reflection. יהיו לרצון אמרי פי, יהיו לרצון אמרי פי, והגיון ליבי לפניך, אדוני צורי וגואלי. Oh, may the words of my mouth, the meditations of my heart be acceptable before you, oh God, my rock and my Redeemer. Ose shalom bimramav, hu yaseh shalom aleinu, ve'yakol Yisrael, ve'imeru, ve'imeru, amen. We turn now to page 253. This beautiful prayer music written by Debbie Friedman back in 1988 has now become a classic, a traditional song for us. And in the midst of the prayer, we will ask you to invite names, if you would like, to be said aloud. We hold those people dear to us because we know there's always somebody that could use a prayer for healing. Let us sing together, page 253. Mi sheberach avotenu mekor habracha leimotenu. May the source of strength, who bless the ones before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say, Amen. If you have any names to recite, please raise your hand.
Jessica Simons.
Mi sheberach imotenu mekor habracha le'avotenu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say, Amen. I'm pleased to welcome to the Bema a couple people. First, I would like to introduce you to Mary Ann Friedman, the founder of AGS. Adults Guardianship Services of Summit County is the largest provider of third-party guardians in Summit County and among the top 3 in the state of Ohio. It serves individuals who are unable to make safe decisions for themselves, providing support at no cost. An AGS Guardian acts as an advocate, protecting the most vulnerable, helping them navigate a complex system, and ensuring they are seen and treated as individuals. Mary Ann has served as a professional guardian as well as founding the Summit County Volunteer Guardian Program in 2013. In her roles, she has recruited, trained, and managed volunteers and professional guardians, 2 of them you will hear from tonight, Julie and Randy Katz, all of whom serve as third-party legal guardians for the indigent wards who are under the jurisdiction of the Summit County Probate Court. Mary Ann's advocacy extends not only to those under legal guardianship, but also to their caregivers and service providers. We welcome Mary Ann Friedman.
Thank you. Thank you. Shabbat Shalom. Okay, is that better? Okay, so I wrote this down, forgive me, but it's the only way I can really remember what I'm supposed to say. And Cantor Kathy did include some of it, so bear with me. So, a not widely known fact is that Summit County has approximately 2,500 individuals currently under legal guardianship. Those under guardianship have been determined by the court to be unable to make decisions that will protect them and serve their own best interest. The probate court serves as the superior guardian, setting the standards of care and reporting for those individuals referred to as wards by the court. Most people assume that family members or friends serve as legal guardians, and that is true in many cases. If someone has pretty deep resources, a third-party paid guardian would be available. Adult Guardianship Services was formed to meet the needs of indigent individuals who have no one willing or able to serve as guardian when they are at their most vulnerable. An AGS guardian, at its core, is an advocate. Upon appointment as a legal guardian, an AGS guardian will help their ward navigate the services they receive to ensure that they are cared for and are seen as individuals in a system that can be quite confusing. AGS is the largest provider of third-party guardians in Summit County and among the top 3 in the state. Our services are free to the individuals we serve. We have served many hundreds of individuals through our founding and currently serve just under 500 open cases. A key component in our ability to serve on this scale are really our incredible AGS volunteers. I'm asking you to please consider becoming an AGS guardian. AGS volunteer guardians are assigned cases for individuals living in nursing homes or group homes. As a volunteer guardian, you will be trained and supported through the application process. Our program also has 8 professional guardians who will support you throughout your tenure as a guardian. Your duties are pretty straightforward. Fill out an application, do a background check, which we pay for, have a case contact at least once a month, visit your ward a minimum of 4 times a year, although most people go more often, and attend a care conference either by phone or in person at the facility. The court requires guardians report 1 time a year. I personally find mentoring the volunteers to be the most rewarding part of my job. The majority of our volunteer guardians, including those that work, travel, and have family responsibilities, find being a guardian to be manageable despite their busy lives. You will also find that it's personally satisfying and a meaningful way to serve the community, and to me, the truest form of Takonalum. So something way more interesting than me, Randy and Julie Katz, I'd like to introduce them. Julie and Randy have been volunteer guardians through our program since 2019. Julie is the very busy owner of the Extra Daughter, assisting families to ensure that their loved ones get the extra care they need, and through serving on various boards and committees, including Bethel Congregation and Jewish Akron. Randy is one of the more interesting people I've ever met. He's a beekeeper, professional flower farmer, and I think the day he came to train at my house, he brought me a dozen of eggs from his chickens. So I would like you to, they're going to talk to you, and you can ask questions. They're just wonderful guardians. And thank you for everything. Thank you.
Hi Hi, Shabbat Shalom. And thank you for having us today. So everything I learned about being a good guardian, I learned in Hebrew school. I did. Number one, we are all created in God's image, B'Tselem Elohim. Everyone is precious and equal in God's eyes. Some of us just have more luck. We seldom talk about pity in Judaism because that implies that one party is superior, right? I never pity my wards. Judaism talks more about compassion, which assumes everyone is equal. To be successful, guardians need to understand this. Number two, you can't do anything without a minyan. Judaism hardly does anything in isolation, right? From a bris or baby naming, praying, celebrating, or mourning, we all do it as a community. Every guardian at AGS, Adult Guardian Services, has support and access to nurses, social workers, and lawyers, as well as other guardians like Marianne. And many of the clients even have their own professionals from agencies that support them. No decision needs to be made in a vacuum, and nor should it. Lesson number 3 that I learned from Hebrew school, ask a good question. Questions make good Torah and Talmud study, but they also make good guardians. I became a guardian because I was a nursing home administrator, and I can tell when something's amiss. So what happens? I get assigned 2 lovely wards with developmental disabilities who live in group homes. There are procedures and, honestly, a bevy of alphabet soup to get acquainted with, so I needed to ask questions. However, I found when I had to make a decision, a good question was invaluable. I want to demonstrate how I use these skills. One question people ask, honestly, is whether a guardian might have to decide whether to disconnect someone from a respirator or pull the plug. And while it almost never happens, the answer is yes, and I did have to make that decision. But I was completely at peace with my decision because of the things that I told you, I outlined before. So Kathy was my ward since 2019. Her family let the court be her guardian the minute she turned 18, and her mother was only sent birthday and Christmas cards. Kathy was now 61, and because of complications from COVID and then pneumonia, she was gasping for air one night in her group home, and the EMTs measured her respirations at 46. So if you know anything, 90 or above is normal. Suma immediately put her on a respirator. It was my choice to go to the ICU often and play Kathy's favorite music, Elvis, and hold her hand. While I was there, I asked if she was deemed DNR, do not resuscitate. I found out she was not. So I asked what was the chance she would survive if her heart stopped. I was told there was a very low chance she would survive cardiac arrest, and if she did somehow survive, she'd be in a vegetative state. So I made her DNR, do not resuscitate. After several unsuccessful attempts to wean Kathy off the respirator, the doctors told me that 2 weeks on a respirator damages people's lungs and they needed to disconnect her. They asked me what I wanted to do if she struggles to breathe. So I assembled the minion, her house manager, her social worker called an SSA, and a nurse from Blick Clinic, and they were all very familiar with her and knew her even better than I did. The 4 of us met with her medical team and decided that being social and around other people was a thing that gave Kathy the most joy, and being hooked up to machines was not how Kathy wanted to live. By some miracle, the respirator was removed and Kathy could breathe on her own. However, that night I got a call from 2 doctors at the same time telling me Kathy was struggling to breathe again and asking if I wanted to put her in hospice. I again asked about options and the outcomes of those options and decided the humane decision was to put Kathy in hospice. I continued to visit her in palliative care and play Elvis. However, I was leaving for Israel in 5 days. One of Kathy's veteran nurses told me it was doubtful that Kathy would be alive when I returned. So I again used my minion and gave Suma a contact at Adult Guardian Services while I was away. When I got off the plane, and I got reception, I found out Kathy had passed away. A few warmer months later, I arranged a celebration of life for Kathy's friends and her support staff. It was wonderful. I'm honored that I was able to get to know such a loving person and give Kathy a comfortable and dignified end to her life. B'Tselem Elohim. Now, I just want to say something about how much time it takes to be a guardian. Most months, it takes almost no time. You know, a phone call or email authorization, something like that. You do need to visit quarterly, like Marianne said, but I choose to visit my wards about 6 to 7 times a year. The only time I need to actually do that more than a few minutes is when there's a change, like a change in the living situation or providers or filing my annual report or going to their annual meetings. But on average, I spend less than an hour a month. And then when visiting, maybe a little more. And when I have to make a change is when I have to spend some time because I want to do it thoughtfully and because obviously it affects their life. But it really doesn't take a lot of time, and it makes a profound effect on someone who's frankly hidden from society that people don't think about very much. And obviously their families don't either. So, you know, I love it. It's my way of giving back. So the only time my husband ever listened to me is when I said to him, "You really should be a guardian. They're looking for men." And he did it. So he's going to tell you a little bit about his experience.
All right, I've been matched with Brian for 5 years now. He's 48 years old and lives with schizophrenia, and his family disowned him. When he's taking his medication, he's really a pleasure to visit. We sit and talk about his ideas and his dreams, especially his vision to create a newspaper column he wants to call God's Teams Ministries. He lights up when we talk about it. All he ever needs is someone, all he really needs is something we all take for granted, a paper and pencil, and someone willing to listen. That's where I come in, not as a hero, just as someone who shows up. Recently, I visited him on his birthday and brought him a dozen donuts. Nothing fancy, but when I handed it to him, he looked at me and said, "No one has ever brought me something on my birthday." Think about that for a moment. 48 years old, and no one has ever celebrated him. That's the reality for many individuals in the court system. They're not just cases, they're people. These people are isolated, people who have been forgotten, people who don't have anyone consistently to look out for their best interests. That's what a legal guardian does. They make sure they're safe. They make sure their voices are heard. They make decisions that when they're unable to make them themselves, but just as importantly, we bring dignity, consistency, and human connection in their lives. You don't need to be a lawyer. You don't have to have all the answers. You need to have compassion, reliability, and willingness to show up. Sometimes it means advocating in a courtroom, very seldom, and sometimes it means bringing a box of donuts. Very simple. We can't fix everything in Brian's life, but we can make sure he's not invisible. And you can do that too. There are many more people like Brian waiting for someone to step into their corner, waiting for someone to say, "You're not alone." If you've ever wondered how you can make a real, tangible difference in someone's life, this is it. Not someday, not in theory, but right now. Because the little things, they don't just add up. But to Brian, they mean everything. So we're open to answering any questions you might have to learn more about the program. Hannah? The challenges.
The most, say it one, the most challenging part about your job? And how do you manage it?
Yeah, I mean, like I said, some of the decisions that we have to make affect people. So Kathy lived in a house for 17 or 18 years. And then a group home, and a new person came in. And the new person, they had tried to be in 3 other homes, and it didn't work. And Kathy said, she's pinching me, she's hitting me, she's kicking me. And we tried everything for over a year. And finally, I said, you know, Kathy, I see you're miserable. I went to meet with Kathy. We went in her room, and that person was banging on the door. Come out, Kathy, come out. And I said, okay, I see what you're going through, Kathy. And I made the decision to move her. I mean, I had to say, are you sure you're never coming back here? And you've lived here for a long time. Do you understand what that means? And, you know, but I made that decision for her. Sometimes you're down, am I making the right decision? I don't know. But it's a hard one, but you have to, you know, have faith in yourself, and you have backups to ask, am I making the right decision? So that's the hardest thing.
A lot of support. If you have a question you don't know how to answer, you can go to the office, or you can go, Brian is in the Hudson Elms nursing home, assisted living, so you can go to the people there and ask questions and figure out what's the best answer as a community.
You do have materials outside, right? Are there materials outside? On the tables outside? Right. Okay. So if you have any other questions, or would you like more information, there's some materials outside as we exit the sanctuary.
Yeah, and I'll stick around afterwards if you have any questions that you didn't want to ask out loud.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Let's turn to page 282 and please rise for Aleinu. Aleinu shabeach ladon hakol, la tekedu la yotzer v'reshit, shelo asanu kegoye haratzot, velo samanu kamishpechot adama, shelo sam chalkeinu kaham, v'gor aleinu kechal hamonam, v'anachnu korim u'mishtachavim u'modim livnei melech malchei hamlachim hakadosh baruch hu v'nemar v'haya Adonai lemelech al kol haaretz bayom hahu yeh Adonai echad Ushemo echad. You can be seated. Our thoughts turn now to those who have departed this earth, our own loved ones, those whom our friends and neighbors have lost, the martyrs of our people whose graves are unmarked, and those of every race and nation whose lives have been a blessing to humanity. As we remember them, we meditate on the meaning of love and loss, of life and death. In the period of Shloshim, we remember Sally Ekus, Bernie Winnick, Jerry Ackman, Doris Ann Masarsky, Reed Wasserstrom, David Yeditzion, and Linda Himes. And the yahrzeits for this week: Lillian Altman, Milton Block, Isidore I. Brodsky, Robert Schwartz, MD, Stanley Dersch, Isidore Jim Ellison, Sam Fishkind, Jane Gibbs, Richard Gibbs, Howard Klein, Irvin Lieberman, Robert R. Mitchell, Rosalind Mitchell, Irving Sands, Selma Schoenfeld, Donna Uranka, Francis Selman Zake, and Blossom Waxman. If there are names I've omitted or names I've mispronounced, please share at this time. For those who are in mourning, we ask you to rise first so the community can be in support of you, and then we all join together. Please rise. Page 294. Yukadal v'yukadash shemei rabbah, v'alma divra chirute v'yamlich malchute, v'chayechon uv'yomechon uv'chaye dechol beit Yisrael, ba'agala uv'izman kari v'imru amen. Yehei shmei rabbah mavarach le'olam u'almei almaya, yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitramam v'yitnaseh, v'yitadar v'yitaleh v'yitalal shemei dekudasha barichu. Le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata, tushbechata v'nechamata, da'amiran bi'alma v'imru amen. Yehei shlama rabba min shemaya, v'chayim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. Oseh shalom b'imramav, huya aseh shalom, aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. May the one who creates harmony on high bring peace to us and to all of Israel, and together we say, amen. And having connected to those we've loved and lost, please connect with each other for the words of the priests. Yivarechecha Adonai v'yishmerecha. May God bless you and keep you. Ya'er Adonai panav elecha v'chuneka. May he cause his countenance to shine upon you and to be gracious. Yis Adonai panav elecha v'yasem lecha shalom. And may he lift up his eyes and grant us all the blessing of peace. Amen. Be seated for a moment. Our new tradition is to pass out the challah for Hamotzi first before our Shehechianu moments. So if there are any kids here that would like to come up to the bima, Roman, Joshua, do you want to come up? Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam hamotzi lechem min haaretz. Amen. So if anybody has some Shehechianu moments, this is the time where we like to talk about some simchas, to bring some levity into the space. If you're celebrating something or you'd like somebody to share something wonderful, please raise your hand and let me know. There's got to be something good. Somebody.
Our grandson's 1-year-old birthday.
Mazel tov to him. What is his name? William. Happy birthday, William. Anybody else want to share a simcha, something, anything good? Find something, everybody, come on. Ari. Your daughter had a birthday? Oh, that's good. Her niece is in labor right now. Oh, I can't wait to see what she does. That's very exciting. Anybody else? Hannah? She finished her 9th book of the year. Everybody should read a book, for sure. For all of those and more, let us join in Shehechianu. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam Shehechianu v'kimanu v'higianu lazman hazeh.
will tell you before we sing Oseh Shalom, but you can still play. Go ahead. It's okay. That Sunday, we're going to have a Haroset challenge with our religious school. So if you'd like to see what excitement looks like, come on Sunday, and you're going to see the Haroset challenge because we are, of course, getting ready for Passover. And we will have a community Seder April 2nd at the JCC. So we're looking forward to that, and let's celebrate with Oseh Shalom, a prayer for peace. Oseh Shalom b'mroma, hu yaseh shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael, ve'al kol yoshvei tevel, ve'imru amen. Oseh Shalom b'mroma, hu yaseh shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael, ve'al kol yoshvei tevel, ve'imru